Hey, Shalom, Akim, Shalom. First and foremost, as always, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachakadash. Call halal Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth. And as always, I'm going to give much peace, love, and salutations to the elect of the nation of Israel, the elect of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, that's pushing this word with all truth and sincerity. May Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai have mercy on all of us that are doing this work in sincerity and in truth, and on our families. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Barakathum. I'm the brother Motb from the Great Millstone Dallas camp, coming back today with another lesson. And Lord willing, this lesson will be brief and quick and edifying. And I want to do a lesson on this article that one of the brothers sent into the chat today. And from the title of it, it reads, and this is from Infowars.com. It says, Biden administration pushes state-run religions. State-run religions. And when I seen that title of it, I immediately thought in my head, the first thought that came to my mind was, this proves that the Motb cannot be Christianity, or it can't be the image of Jesus Christ. It can't be. Because you have these particular groups that say that the Motb, written in Revelation 13 and 16, that no man may be able to buy or sell save he that hath the MARK, right, is the image of Jesus Christ, or is Christianity, because you put Christianity into your mind, which this proves furthermore with the agenda that Esau is pushing. They're phasing out the Bible completely. They're phasing out the Bible. They use the scriptures and they use the Bible and manipulated it in their usings. I'd rather say they manipulated, because the word of the Lord is not manipulated, but those in whose hands that has been in, the Edomites, they have used the scriptures to manipulate the world into thinking Christianity, quote unquote, is the way. You see, but they used Christianity and they weaponized it. They weaponized it physically, whereas they used, for example, the doctrine of discovery to completely enslave and massacre the northern tribes that was here. And they used Christianity to further keep Jake, in particular, the southern kingdom, as well as the rest of the whole nation of Israel, but particularly the southern kingdom, to keep our people asleep, thinking that Jesus Christ is the way to truth, which is a image of a so-called white man with brown stringy hair and blue eyes, and that he just loves everybody and he accepts everybody and everything, to get these people in a mindset of do as thou wilt, complete rebellion against Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. But this proves furthermore, once again, that the Motb cannot be Christianity or the image of Jesus Christ. So it says, Biden administration pushes state-run religions, right? The Bureau of Democracy, Human Rights, and Labor issued grant money to promote atheism. Now, what is atheism? Let's just get the common definition of atheism here. It says to promote atheism, right? Atheism in the broadest sense is an absence of belief in the existence of deities. Let's read that again. Atheism, in the broadest sense, is an absence of belief in the existence of deity. So pretty much it promotes you not even believing in a God, period. Esau, Edom, wants you to know that he is your God. You see, that's what he does. And he promotes transhumanism, everything that's in complete rebellion against the scriptures. He promotes that. You see, you are your own God. You see, I am. You can worship anything that you want to worship. You can worship yourself. You see, and a majority of these people really are atheists. Even people that claim to believe in the Bible, really in all actuality, they're atheists, right? Atheism in the broadest sense is an absence of belief in the existence of deities, right? Less broadly, atheism is a rejection of the belief that any deities exist. You see that? So he wants to put it to whereas any kind of spirituality, in a sense, is completely X'd out. You see? And in an even narrower, read that again. In an even narrower sense, atheism is specifically the position that there are no deities. There are no kind of higher powers at all. There's no God, right? Everything was created by a big bang, as they say. So there's no existence of any kind of spiritual beings or any kind of Godhead. No angels, nothing. Most High, no. Right? According to what atheism is. Right? It says atheism is contrasted with theism. Which theism is the belief of a power, right? Which in its most general form is the belief that at least one deity exists. The etymological root of the word atheism originated before the 5th century BC from the ancient Greek, and I can't pronounce that, meaning without God, without the Most High. You see, that's what the root word of atheism means, that there is no God. And let's go ahead and and get a scripture real quick. What's that? Psalm 14, I want to say it is. The fool have said in his heart that there is no God. Yep. Psalm 14:1, to the chief musician, a psalm of David. The fool has said in his heart, there is no God. You see, and you a fool to believe that. All you got to do is look. It tells you that in Romans 1. You see the things that were created with the things that you see was created by things that are invisible. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. The stars, the moon, the sun, the clouds, the trees, people. But you have individuals that think that a so-called Big Bang happened, and all this order of how things just originate in the world was just created out of nothing. Complete madness. That's why it says the fool have said in his heart that there is no God. And that word fool is Nabal. Okay, Nabal, which means we'll get the root word first, like I like to get. Foolish, senseless, especially of the man who has no perception of ethical and religious claims. Let's read that again. Foolish, and this is Esau. Foolish, senseless, especially of the man who has no perception of ethical and religious claims, and with collateral idea of ignoble. What does ignoble mean? Dishonorable, not honorable in character or purpose, of humble origin or social status. And is not Esau really of an humble origin or social status? Not humble in the sense of being like meek, in the sense of, not boasting yourself, but humble in the sense of literally being lowly. You see? The Bowers, they're changing their last name, meaning peasant, right? And Job 30 tells you about that. Disgraceful. You see? Let's go down here to the noble-minded. It says characterized as at once irreligious and churlish. Hey, this says that Isaiah 32. Yep, right there. Let's read it. Isaiah 32, for the vile person will speak villainy, and his heart will work iniquity, his mind, to practice hypocrisy. And that vile person is a niggard, right? And to utter error against the Lord. Like the Lord, but the thing is, here it is, the Lord created these things, but Esau's like, you know what, no. The Lord was wrong when he made this. Let me do it this way. No, the Lord was wrong here. Let's do this. No, there's not just man and female. There's this as well. You don't got to just worship you don't got to just worship one God. Matter of fact, let's just X out worship completely. They're not going to go house to house and set up stations and ask you if you believe in Christianity and Jesus Christ. And then they're going to put a CHIP inside of you. This further proves it. You see, it says to practice hypocrisy and to utter error against Yahweh, to make empty the soul of the hungry, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. And who are the ones that are thirsty? The Israelites. And our people are thirsty for the truth. Well, they're lacking water. They're lacking moisture, in a sense, I'd rather say. Right? It says impious and presumptuous, And impious pretty much goes into it not having any kind of respect for the Most High, right? Denying the Most High. We just read it. Without the Most High, without God, right? And I had Psalm 14. Let's read it again. The fool have said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. Now, come on. Who is this talking about? Clearly, we see it. There is none that doeth good. See, and this is why the Lord is going to destroy this. This is why the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, is going to destroy this system and bring these Edomites down, man, because of the lack and the fear of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. But to go back to the point, Biden administration pushes state-run religions. The Bureau of Democracy, Human Rights, and Labor issue grant money to promote atheism and humanism in South and Central Asia. This is also Jeremiah 51. This is the wine. Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken with its wine and philosophies. This is another form of the wine. To promote atheism and humanism in South and Central Asia, the Middle East, and Africa. Now, what's humanism? What's humanism? Humanism is a philosophical stance that emphasizes the individual and social potential and agency of human beings. The individual and social potential. So the individual potential and the social potential and agency of human beings. Your individualism, in a sense. You see, you can be your own God, right? It considers human beings as the starting point for serious moral and philosophical inquiry. Pretty much all things can begin within your own mind. If you want to, if this is what you want to do, if you want to be this, you can identify yourself as a dog. You can identify yourself as a flower pot. You can do these things. I identify myself as QUERR, polyester symmetrical, sexual. All this madness. That's humanism, right? The meaning of the term humanism has changed according to the successive intellectual movements that have identified with it. Generally, the term refers to a focus on human well-being and advocates for human freedom, autonomy, and progress. So to do as thou wilt. Human freedom, right? Autonomy and progress. Rebellion, pretty much. Human freedom, human autonomy, and human progress. Without any kind of fear or judgments of the things that you do. This further proves that the Motb is not Christianity. Okay? Brian, let's listen to a little bit of this.
The Biden administration is using the power of the executive branch of the U.S. government to fund belief systems around the world that are...
The U.S. government, I'm going to pull out key words. The U.S. government belief systems around the world. The U.S. government, Babylon, belief systems, wine around the world. All nations to be drunk. You see that? You see how the scriptures line up? Let's continue. Actually, before we continue, let's just get it. Because I don't, it could be newcomers that could be listening and may not know what I'm talking about. Right? Jeremiah 51, verse 7. Babylon hath been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken. So showing you that Babylon, who controls Babylon really is Esau, Edom, but who controls Esau is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. The Lord set up the Edomites for his purpose. Okay? Now let's get drunken here. Drunken is shakar. In the Hebrew, it's pronounced shakar. And when you get that word drunken, it says, let's get the bold word here. Be or become drunk. drunken. Okay? Drunk or drunken. I made them drunk in my wrath. I break them in pieces. Says of Babylonian. Let me go up a little bit. Made drunken. You see? And when you're drunk, you're inebriated. You don't have pretty much all your senses ain't working. It ain't clicking. You see? Pretty much you're not clicking. And when you drunk, you do particular things that you normally wouldn't do whenever you are sober. Okay? So it says, Babylon hath been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. You see that? Babylon's wine. Let's get this word wine real quick here. Wine in the Hebrew is yayun. Okay, that's how you say wine in the Hebrew is yayun. And when you get this word wine there, because it's the bold word, it says the best wine, right? But it says of Babylon's fierce power. So the wine symbolically represents Babylon's power, and they use their power through democracy. They use their power through war. They use their power through decrees. They use their power through deceit and lies. You see, that's how Babylon rules. You see, it's fierce power, right? It says the nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. And that word mad is halal, which means to become foolish. That's what that word mad means in the Hebrew, means to become foolish. Now, we just read earlier in Psalm 14, the fool have said in his heart that there is no God. You see how the scriptures line up, right? Let's listen some more.
Classified as protected in the Bill of Rights, essentially picking and choosing state-run religions. Under
state-run religions. So America, the U.S. government, is choosing state-run religions for countries within Central Asia, South Africa, and the Middle East. You see? And these different nations already have somewhat of decency when it comes to order amongst the family and households, when it comes to particular. Now these are still heathen at the end of the day, but they still have somewhat of order. But they're trying to tell you, no, you know what? No, you have the freedom to do this. You have the freedom to believe in whatever the hell you want to believe, which, like I said, the heathen are still believing in idols. But you see how America uses its wine to promote what it wants to push? Let's listen to some more.
The Biden-appointed Anthony Blinken, the U.S. State Department's Bureau of Democracy, Human Rights, and Labor has issued grant money to promote atheism and humanism in South Central Asia, the Middle East, and Northern Africa, with individual awards up to $500,000, all totaling in the millions. Atheism and humanism are both official belief systems protected under the First Amendment's right to religious freedom.
Let's get a precept on that. Isaiah 10:1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees. A decree is a law, and this is an unrighteous decree that they're putting out. You see? And that right grievousness which they have prescribed. You see, this is the things that they have prescribed and the things that they have said. You see? You don't got to have order amongst the household. You can do this. Now, just imagine if these different countries put grants over here to do that, and everybody to pretty much worship Buddha or whatever. Babylon wouldn't have that. Esau wouldn't have that. But you see how they can do that around the world? Is prophecy, letting you know who's in power. You see? Let's go back.
Which also forbids the U.S. government from establishing a state-run religion. Why does the Biden administration feel as though they can violate the Constitution and promote one religion?
Because, whoa, let's go back and hear what you're about to say.
Protected under the First Amendment's right to religious freedom, which also forbids the U.S. government from establishing a state-run religion. Why does the Biden administration feel as though they can violate the Constitution and promote one religion over another?
One religion over another. It says violate, because the Constitution is all BS at the end of the day. It's just paper. That's all that it is. It's just paper, and it's just decrees and laws that Esau made. And you Jakes, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you Israelites have no say-so or any. That the Constitution doesn't have anything to do with you. But it says one religion, the Biden administration. Now, also, too, that made me think of this in First Maccabees. This is First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, a one world right? And everyone should leave his laws. Now, there's particular laws and religions that like I said, that these heathen have, that they're not following the true power because they're not created to, but they have their own laws and religions. But here it is. They're like, nah, it can be one law here. You see? And everyone should leave his laws. Now, this was going to the Israelites. Now, this was pushed amongst all nations. But remember, the scriptures is a history about us, right? So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. We literally are seeing this happen in real time all over again. There's nothing new under the sun. Let's go back. Because when you read Maccabees, it further explains who the Gentiles are in the New Testament. But that's another lesson for another day.
In objection, Republicans accused the State Department of designing grants meant to, quote, shatter local religious and cultural relationships.
And the thing is, under the Democrats, man, the world is always, the people, things have been getting freaky. Things was always freaky. Things was always out of order. But you got these jakes. I'm a Democrat. Ugh, you were a Republican. All that's bullshit at the end of the day. But even with the particular Republicans, they're like, hell no. Nah. You know, those Edomites within the Bible belt, they're like, hell no. You see? But you jakes, you niggas, man, you niggas are the main ones that are Democrats. And under so-called underneath a democratic rule, freakism just completely just explodes, man. Under the Obama administration and then under the Biden administration, they got even more freaky. And you niggas ought to be ashamed of yourselves, man.
Pointing out that Democrats and leftists would without a question oppose money being sent from the State Department to foreign Christian religious groups. So why is the Biden administration doing this? They want to appear as if they are accepting and tolerant of various religious beliefs, the true spirit of the Constitution. However, in giving out these grants, they pick and choose state-approved beliefs by excluding funding for certain religions. How can the State Department proclaim to be accepting of all while ostracizing Christians, Jews, Muslims, and other religions? Clearly, there is an agenda behind
ostracizing so-called Christian, Jews, and other religions. Now, we know these religions that they're talking about are all fabricated too, but this further proves that the Motb cannot be Christianity. It can't. They're not using the Bible to further an agenda. You clearly see that. They're not using Christianity to further their NWO agenda into this new fourth industrial revolution, which is technological, man.
Promoting only atheism and humanism, because these belief systems are more compatible with the state. Both exclude God and focus on man as the source of divine power.
They don't want you to believe and have no spirituality. That's what's going to lead to the Motb. They will be your God. That's why you have the slogan from the WEF. You will own nothing and you will like it. You will love it. That's what my man Santa Claus said. I'm just going to put it like that.
The groundwork for a communist world government system? Or is this being done to provoke Christians into advocating for their own religion to be pushed by the sword of the state? An Hegelian dialectic meant to demonize Christ.
And that's a good point. This is going to cause more friction too. This is going to cause more friction within Babylon. You see? Egyptian shall be against Egyptian. You're going to have class wars, race wars, religious wars. You're going to have all these different things, man. That's true. Pressure from above, and pressure from below. Hegelian dialectic, order out of chaos. You see that? That's a good point. That's true.
And divide the country even more in their beliefs before synthesizing each side into a new beast system.
Woo! He's saying it, a beast system. A beast system, the whole beast system that you read about in Revelation 17, 18, 13, ran by Esau. in the beast system, NATO and the EU, spearheaded by America, is not going to be using Christianity to promote, they're not going to be using Christianity to push forward their agenda of the NWO. You clearly just heard it.
Either way, the Biden administration is spending money all around the world to promote the disbelief in God and the belief that there is no power higher than man. I think it's clear who's really running the State Department. This is Brian Wilson with Infowars.com.
And that further proves it. The beast system is being operated and ran by Esau, and they're phasing out any kind of belief of a higher power, period. So I just wanted to make that point. You know, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to the elect of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, B'Hashem HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone, and much peace, love, and salutation to the elect. Shalom.